not even working. I am molding my mind to say, this is who you are in this domain, and I'm using that to translate to other areas in my life. Being a father, pursuing a career, entrepreneurship, the podcast, linking up with good people, being accountable. Like, being is very important, and the runs allow me to suffer in a way where I must stop worrying about everything else to accomplish this task.
Great morning, great evening, great afternoon. My name is Demetrius Pearson, a.k.a. Coach Michi, a.k.a. Michi the Shooter, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Mr. Devontae J. Ward, a.k.a. DJ with the mic, a.k.a. Big Speaker, and this is The Counterattack. What's good, bro? How you feeling today?
Bro, I'm feeling good, bro. I got a fresh cut, crispy, man.
Hey, look, that boy said I'm a street sweeper.
Street sweeper.
Hey, look what you. Hey, so I saw you about 24 hours ago. I ain't think you had the cut. You been to the shop lately?
Yeah, man. So, funny thing, when I went to the shop, my barber's a Bama fan, right? So I wasn't trying to pick fun at him. What I really was trying to do was give him some encouragement, right?
Yeah.
So we was talking about the coaches, like how they felt about the new coach and all that. And, they was like, man, look, we still mourning Saban, bro. Don't be really asking us about that. And I was like, you know what? It's all good. Let me give y'all some encouragement. This is what I told him. I said, in the Bible, it says, the humble will be exalted. I said, right now, y'all just being humble. You'll be exalted. So
bro,
that's my trip to the barbershop, bro.
Listen, bro, we too used to winning to be humble right now. Listen, we in a state of emergency in Alabama. I'm telling you, whenever we heard that news that Nick Saban retired, it was all over the internet. And I'm like, somebody joking right now because it just seems so random. I'm like, bro, we need to check on a lot of people right now. Like, a lot of people. We not used to losing. The state of Alabama already doesn't have any professional sports, so we be needing something to believe in. Like,
Yes.
we can't. I mean, there ain't nobody else to root for. So if Bama go down here, what we gonna do? I don't like room for Atlanta teams. So
Yeah, and then Memphis, and what we got? New Orleans, and then Tennessee.
yeah.
Like, come on, that ain't in the state.
you feel
It's
me?
a
That ain't
little
home.
weird.
That
Yeah.
ain't home. Look, and I don't like feeling like I'm a bandwagon fan. So you know what I'm saying. But look, it talks about this new coach from Washington State. So we'll see. They wouldn't just put anybody in that seat. So we'll see if he can continue the legacy of greatness.
Facts.
Yeah, man. So moving forward, it's been about, let's see, it's 8:30. I don't even think it's been 24 hours ago, man. We just finished our latest 10K.
Yes.
How you feeling after that?
So that's the first official 10K that we finished, and bro, I'm feeling really good personally about it. From a PR standpoint, I broke a 8-minute mile, and it was my last full mile. It was my 6th mile within the 10K.
Yeah.
So that was dope. And then I started off with the first mile was a sub 9 mile, and when I train, my average is around about a 10-minute, like right at 10 minutes cadence, like pace. So it was dope seeing that happen. But bruh, like, what really always inspired me, bruh, is like when I see you and Obi taking off like on the run, because we work it where you at, right? Like, it's just dope seeing these two cats. Like, I'm like, bruh, like, I know we all been training, but it's always, I'm never jealous. I'm always fascinated. I'm like, dang, bruh, like, these cats really out here getting it. And I'm like, and I'm not taking away any from me, but I had to run my own race. Like, if I was trying to pace and keep up with y'all when I haven't built the stamina up yet, I haven't finished, the foundation has been laid, but I still have to build the rest of the structure, you know? So I was like, man, it just be dope. One day I'm gonna be able to catch the pace and we'll be able to run distance in a group as a unit versus this. But by no means will I want a dog to not eat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would not ask anybody else to slow their cadence down. For me, it's like, no, I'm running. I ain't standing still. If I was hurt, cool, help me out. But if I'm moving forward, if I'm telling you I'm good, trust that. Trust my better judgment. And bruh, I'm geeked up, man. I'm still, I guess I'm off of a runner's high still. I'm enjoying it.
As you should be. So just for reference, for anybody who's not familiar with races, normally you would hear of 5Ks. Yesterday we ran the MLK Drum Run 5K in Birmingham, Alabama, but this year they offered a 10K option. So 5K is about 3.1 miles. 10K is double that. So yesterday we did a 6.2 mile race just for reference. And, no easy feat at all. So you just said that you PR'd on some of your mile splits and it's a little different from how you train. Can you talk about, what it's like preparing for something that long and just kind of like running by yourself, training by yourself and being on that island versus the energy and the adrenaline that's pumping on the day of the race and how that makes your performance different?
So from when I first started to now, it's a completely different mode. I don't care about anybody else while I'm running. I don't care about anybody else while I'm running. When I'm running, it's my best chance to get in touch with myself, get in touch with God. And it also has so many just benefits in general. Like physical exercise legitimately increases the neuroplasticity in your mind.
Okay.
You can literally develop your working memory and you can grow new neurons. We used to think that they all died off not died off. I'm sorry. We used to think that the development stopped when you were like a child, like as a toddler, because that's what popular science has. Well, not popular. That's what the science of then told us. The science of now lets us know that, hey, the more active you are, the more resilient your cognitive abilities are, the more plasticity your brain, and plasticity means that your brain has the ability to do more. Like you can remember more, you can learn more. It promotes growth within the body and the mind. So if you're promoting growth within the body and the mind, the spirit is surely going to follow with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I would like to ask you personally, like, because I feel I can tell the difference now when I work out, how it's affected me, like mentally. Like, what about you? Like, how can you tell the difference? What's like a typical difference between a day when you haven't worked out, or you have a period where you haven't worked out as intently or specifically as you normally would, versus a period when you're doing 75 hard and going crazy?
Man, it's a difference. So I know you've probably seen the cliche before where you'll see people on like maybe social media like, well, I go to the gym because the gym is therapy. And even though that's probably unhealthy by some opinions, but I kind of feel that way too. One of the main reasons that I exercise is so I can maintain my mental health. Sometimes life is stressful because, life be lifing. But for me, moving is always an answer. So I run on a schedule for the most part. So most mornings, the first thing that I do when I get up is I go somewhere and I move my body. And that affects how the rest of my day goes. On the few days that I don't get up and move and I just kind of float through the day, my energy is lower. You know what I'm saying? My thoughts, like, they tend to be more negative. I'm really in a worse space, but just kind of getting up and getting the blood flowing, and getting the brain going in the morning, it just, it makes all the difference. So times like 75 hard, when you're really locked in, like you're just battling with yourself mentally every day and you're putting hurdles in front of yourself to be able to overcome them hurdles. And, a lot of people would call it like mental hardening or working on your mental toughness. So times like that, I really feel like I'm locked in. I learn a lot of new things about myself, and, I just take pride in the fact that I'm able to get better every day versus those times where I wean off. Rest is important. Now, I'm not promoting, just going out and, killing yourself every day trying to exercise, because rest is important. But for me, taking too much time off and knowing what I could be out there doing, I feel like I'm sliding back in the other direction versus, getting better every day. So working out is therapy for me. Like, it keeps me going, it keeps my head in a good place, and it leaks over into other areas of life just because my head is in a good space.
It sounds like a win-win versus a lose-lose, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I mean, there's just exercise in general. Like, you know what I'm saying? Coach Meet you again. Exercise in general, there are way too many benefits. Like, if you want to talk about risk to reward in anything that you do, I mean, there are certain risks, like maybe you can get injured while you're working out, but the benefits far outweigh it. Like, there's probably hundreds of benefits to exercising and, running in general, which is kind of what our topic is today. I feel like running in itself is a great vehicle to be able to accomplish so many things. I talk to my friends sometimes, and I'm like, I think there's a lot of people out there that don't even know what it's like to, just run a mile straight, or what that challenge feels like. So, and you kind of spoke on it a second ago, just being able to run. So, from your standpoint, what are those conversations like when you're out there, you're running, you're hurting, you don't really want to be out there, but you know that the goal is to be able to finish?
Okay. I must answer this in two parts, to be fair.
Mhm.
When I first started running and now. The conversation when I first started running was of pure just, I wanted to be in shape. Like, I'm gonna do, like, I willed myself, but it was the perfect storm because I had the feelings
Mhm.
was there. So like I had the energy, like, you know how we kind of go through waves with energy in certain times in our lives.
Mhm.
Well, I had the wave of, it was a perfect storm. I had the wave of energy, and I did just enough to carry myself over the hump and find more information. Because like you said, you could get hurt. Like as a veteran, like I have a lot of body ailments and stuff from the conditions, the movement and stuff like that. So learning new ways, like with the knees over toes guy, the
Mhm.
ATG workouts.
Yeah.
Learning some of those concepts helped me build up my around muscles around my knee and my ankles and my hips, and it's helped me to get my muscles stable. I worked out that muscle instability, and that that prompted me, like, just because of that sheer, like, bro, like, I'm a sore loser. Like, I don't want to lose, and I'm like, and the only person I'm losing to is myself, and I'm like, bro, don't lose to yourself. Like,
Right.
if you your only op, who knows your op better than you?
That's real.
You know, so I was like, all right, bet. I'm gonna get this. And once I got over that hurdle, it became switching towards the new mentality. It was like, dang, how I feeling was driving this, but now I don't feel like doing it.
Right.
When we was at that, well, how cold was it yesterday?
What, 29 degrees?
Man,
And that wasn't even a real field. It was probably like low 20s with the wind chill.
and we ran 6 miles in, bruh. Look, that did not feel good. I did not want to do it. I did not want to run it all this week. But the mentality is now, when the thoughts that I'm having now are, I want to do this, right? I know through experience, I know that on the days where I don't feel like doing it, the first mile or 2 miles are going to suck. If I'm going on a short run and I don't feel like it, it's going to suck. If I'm going on a long run and I don't feel like it, it's going to suck for the first mile and a half.
Yep.
The second half, the second mile, the third mile, the fourth mile, they become easier. Not less physically demanding, but mentally. Your mind, your body was so great, bro. Like, I've adapted to the new condition. Like, I've raised to the level of where I place myself. Like, I've gotten comfortable in the discomfort of this run. And now, since I know I must move forward, I must process this, now I get a clarity to think about a lot of other things as well. So I might listen to an audiobook. A lot of times now, I even pray with I call my pops on runs.
I heard.
I call my pops on runs, and we'll pray. Like, man, I promise you, like, I'm never more in touch with the Creator than when I am fully immersed and engaged in something that I want to do, especially if it's in spite of how I'm feeling. And the more I sacrifice that feeling for who I want to be, because I have it specific. Once I sacrifice that and I become that, it's like I'm working on being this, or not even working. I am molding my mind to say, this is who you are in this domain, and I'm using that to translate to other areas in my life. Being a father, pursuing a career, entrepreneurship, the podcast, linking up with good people, being accountable. Like, being is very important, and the runs allow me to suffer in a way where I must stop worrying about everything else to accomplish this task. And it allows me to clear my thoughts up to be able to focus in and create and find new solutions, a lot of times I go on a run and I find a new solution.
That's right. That's right. So, you were talking about, just a state of being, to become something, and you're not just trying to do it, but the action of you running is like moving you toward the thing that you want to be. So, I watched this speaker. His name is Myron Golden, and one of his big concepts is be,
Shout out to
do,
Myron.
have. Man, listen, great speaker. Honestly, great speaker. So one of his main concepts is be, do, have. 3 words, right? So he'll be like, okay, well, if you want to accomplish something, first you have to be something. Being something or becoming something, it directs your action. So that means that you'll do something, and doing something is what's going to cause you to have something. So he'll always be like, can't be, can't do, can't have, and then, be, do, have. So it just speaks to what you were saying, becoming that runner, or, becoming the person that you want to be is going to drive actions in other areas of your life. And then whatever that ultimate goal is, or ultimate goals, because, you're a multifaceted person, you should be able to have those things. So, oh yeah, so the cookie jar is all the hard things that you've done in life. Imagine you put that into a jar. That way, when you do the next hard thing, you could reach back into the jar, aka past experiences, and be like, hey, I've done this before, which may be harder or not than the thing that I'm trying to do. So it only makes sense that I have the capacity to do this thing that I'm trying to tackle now. So the more cookies you get, the more it boosts your confidence to know that you can tackle the next thing.